my tricks of the trade and kitchen tips.
First up, red pepper. As you've seen, great for frittata and North African eggs, but you need to know how to cut them properly.
I absolutely love these peppers. Now, they have the most amazing, sweet, delicious flavour with a really nice, crunchy texture. And the most exciting thing about the peppers is that they're just as delicious, raw or cooked. To identify the perfect pepper, it must be smooth and firm and not a wrinkle in sight. Now, how to cut the perfect pepper. Stalk off, pepper down, and get the knife, start from the top and slice all the way round. Basically, we're going to be slicing around the seeds. Look, no faffing around, like this little perfect Christmas tree of seeds, and you haven't got the mess all over your board, and more importantly, it's twice as quick. Discard that. Now, we're going to cut it into a julienne. Flatten the pepper, skin side down onto the board, because it's a lot easier to slice through the pepper, and just lift the knife up and down. And basically, julienne is a chef's word for strips. These are absolutely perfect for sautéing, and that's what we're looking for there. Crunchy, delicious, and more importantly, no seeds. Beautiful.
First up, the proper way to chop fresh herbs to get maximum flavour.
Chopping herbs, the secret is to chop them, not bruise them. Now, basil. This is a soft herb, so treat it with some respect. When people go mad chopping herbs, all the goodness comes out on the board. I want the goodness left inside the basil. Place them all inside one another, with the largest leaf at the bottom, and it's almost like rolling a cigar. Large one at the bottom, small ones in the centre, and then look, place them down together, and just roll them. Nice and gently, don't bruise them. Step one, rolled, ready to slice. Sharp knife, imperative. Fingers tucked in. The bottom part of your knuckle is the guide between you and the herbs. That there stops you from cutting your finger. Really important to get comfortable with the knife and just practice rolling the knife across the board and relaxing that wrist. It's all in the wrist action. So, herbs up, fingernails tucked, underneath, and just up and down, up and down. And there you have our chopped basil that's not bruised and smelling very fragrant. Right, coriander. So you get the bunch of coriander, hold it down, and just lightly shave the leaves off the stalks. Bunch them up together, and then just, again, let the knife do the work. Tuck the fingernails in and just chop once, and once only. Don't hack it, just chop it. You can always identify when you've bruised the herb, when you've removed the herbs off the board, there's a big green patch. Full of flavour, and none of the goodness is left on the chopping board.
A great tip for using leftover herbs: simply chop finely, mix into butter, roll up in cling film and freeze. Then when you want a herby hit, cut into slices and melt over steaks, chicken or veg. Asparagus is great for a simple supper. To prepare, always remove the lower woody stem by gently bending, and the asparagus will snap at the perfect point. Then boil or steam and serve with a little of my herb butter. To stop your chopping board rocking or slipping, a great tip is to simply wet a kitchen cloth, kitchen paper or tea towel and place it underneath. Now you can chop with confidence. My next top tip is get the most out of your humble veg peeler. It's brilliant for slicing ultra-thin ribbons of veg, perfect for Asian dishes. Great for making long, delicate parmesan shavings to top soups and salads. It also makes wonderful chocolate curls. Your pepper mill is more versatile than you might think. Tighten the top screw to get finely ground pepper, ideal for soups and sauces. For general seasoning, you want it medium ground, so set the screw in the middle. And loosen it right off for coarse pepper, perfect for steaks and fish. Peeling garlic. For one clove, simply bash it with the back of a knife and the skin comes off easily. For a whole head, crush, separate into a bowl. Cover and shake hard for about 10 seconds. Then simply pick out the peeled cloves. Garlic is a key ingredient in so many spicy dishes. My tip for finely chopping and mincing is to add a pinch of salt for abrasion, which helps break the fibres of the garlic down for a much better result. For getting the most out of root ginger, simply remove the skin using a teaspoon. It's easier than using a knife, and you can get around the tricky bits. Or just keep the skin on and give it a good wash. Another fantastic standard for a fuss-free weekend eat is the classic baked potato. My tip for a great crispy skin is to use salt to your advantage. Simply add it to the outside before cooking, and the salt will draw out the moisture in the oven as it bakes. A touch of salt gives you an amazingly crisp skin on chicken and fish too, as well as highlighting the flavour. Dried pulses like chickpeas or lentils are great for soups and stews and cost pennies, but don't season them until the end of the cooking or the salt makes them go tough. For perfect boiled potatoes, always start them off in cold water and never boiling water. This way, by the time the centres of the potatoes are cooked, the outside won't be falling apart. And when you're cooking potatoes, always cook extra, so there's leftovers. They're fantastic to have on hand for making my delicious gnocchi and potato rusties or a classic bubble and squeak. A great tip for intensely flavoured stress-free veg is to steam them in their own juices. Simply add to a pan with a knob of butter and seasoning, then cook on a low heat with the lid on to lock in the moisture. For crispy roast potatoes you can depend on, my tip is to parboil them, leave them to steam dry, then sprinkle them with semolina or flour and give them a good roughing up. This ensures they go really crispy in the oven. Tomatoes are another salad staple. Here's how to skin them for extra refinement. Score each one with a cross at the bottom. Blanch in boiling water for a minute. Then shot them in cold water and the skins will easily peel away. Pomegranates are a fabulous fruit for adding glamour to salads or desserts. The trick to getting the seeds out, slice in half lengthways, make slits around the edge, turn upside down over a bowl, and using a large spoon, whack as hard as you can to release the seeds. A great tip for stopping potatoes, apples and avocados from going brown when cut. Simply cover with water and add a squeeze of lemon. The acidity stops the flesh from oxidizing, which is what causes the colour to change. Herbs are great for adding flavour without spending a fortune. To keep them at their best, simply place them in a glass of water and they'll stay fresh for up to a week. And if you've got extra herbs left over, save on waste by making an amazing flavoured oil. Place wash and dried stems in a bottle, cover with warmed olive oil, then seal and leave to infuse. Great for salads, pastas and drizzling on veg.